that's what this is all about. It's about providing the best possible customer experience. And I think at the end of the day, that's where some people get lost. They see it as like a marketing tool that's just going to generate all these leads and make more sales for them. And yes, it definitely does that. But the reason it's doing that is because of the experience that it's providing.
Welcome to Jane Jackson Careers, a podcast that takes your career to the next level. Here's your host, Jane Jackson, author of Amazon Careers bestseller, Navigating Career Crossroads.
Welcome back to Your Career Podcast. You know, today is episode 176 of Your Career Podcast. Now, I've been podcasting for 2 years now, and honestly, when I first started, I didn't even know if I'd get past 8 episodes, let alone 176, so it's quite exciting, isn't it? Now, it's great that you're here because today's episode truly is a cracker. But first, I'd like to share with you exciting news if you want to take control of your career. Join the Careers Academy online. It's my online career portal, which I created just for you so that you can gain access to loads of valuable career management and career transition resources. You can enjoy free access to my monthly group career coaching sessions and also attend for free all of my career webinars, which are recorded. So within the Careers Academy, you have access to them anytime. Now, membership entitles you to so much support, so you never have to feel alone when you have a career issue or a job search question ever again. All right? So check it out. All you need to do is to go to thecareersacademy.online and check out all the resources and exciting stuff that I have for you there. And if you like, you can join. All right. So hope to see you there. Now on to our wonderful guest, who is Elly Hurley. I have so much respect for this lady. She is really quite amazing. She's the co-founder of Nudge Marketing, Australia's #1 authority in Messenger Marketing and Chatbots. Now, she's had a really fascinating career because she has gone from sales and marketing in her early days to joining the New South Wales Police Force in her early 30s, where she had a long career and then transitioned into something completely different again, property design. And she's a qualified hypnotherapist. She's got into coach marketing, training the coaches to market themselves effectively. And as such, she is a mentor at The Entourage. And now she's set up her own business, Nudge Marketing. It's Australia's #1 authority in messenger marketing and chatbots. She's a self-confessed geek and highly sought-after digital marketing strategist who has invested in some of the brightest marketing and business minds in the world. As a fellow business owner, she understands what it's like, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Her mission is to empower small medium enterprises to leverage modern marketing tools to save them time, reduce their stress, and increase their income. Her choice of coffee is a latte with 1 in the morning and either a beer or a white wine when the time is right. And that's a lady who is after my own heart as well. And I know that you will love meeting Elly today. And welcome to the show, Elly.
Thank you, Jane. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. And as we were chatting before the show started, it is a little bit chilly in Sydney now, and I've got the fire going in the background, and it's nice and toasty in here, but really cold outside.
Yep.
And so today, I'm so pleased that you've on the show because I wanted to talk to the chatbot queen for a long time. However, before we go into what you're doing now with your amazing business, I'd like to find out how you made your transitions in your career. And so to kick us off, let's find out, what were your early aspirations as a little girl?
That's a really funny question. And when I think back, the very first thing I can remember is wanting to be a PE teacher because I just absolutely love sport. But then I decided I wanted to be a lawyer at one stage as well because I like to debate. So I would have to say it was definitely one of those two things, and I've done neither.
And, having stalked you plenty on LinkedIn, you've had the most amazing career journey.
I guess it wasn't long before my 30th birthday, and I'd always had a fascination with the police. I saw them as people that were helpful in the community, and I don't know, some people say I joined because I wanted to wear the sexy uniform, but it was way, way more than that for me. So I put my application in the May, and in the November, I was actually down at the academy. So it was just a really amazing roller coaster. And it was, I guess, a lifelong dream, even though it wasn't what I wanted to do as a kid, come true.
I love the boys and girls in blue. And so how did your career progress within the police force?
Okay, so what ended up happening, I did my general duties for the first 12 months, which is everyone has to do that. And then as soon as I got my stripe, because I was a little bit older, I guess I wasn't overly fond of just typical general duties. So I went into the community safety team. So I was working in youth. I was the youth liaison officer for quite a long time. And then I transitioned into education. So I was education and development officer. So I ended up acting sergeant. I was a senior constable, but I ended up acting sergeant before I left. And I guess that was part of the reason for leaving and making the decision to leave when I did, is because there was a new round of positions coming up, and I was in the process of applying for a sergeant's position, but I didn't want to take that off someone else when I knew that I was going to be leaving not far after that. So,
and what was going on in your mind about leaving the police force?
I'd started doing some professional development. I'd started doing some NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming, just the basic sort of courses. And there was a few other things happening. I was doing a development at the time and had a couple of issues with a builder. So it was, I needed to be a little bit more available and hands-on for that. So I thought, well, now's a really good time. So I just took the plunge and went and spoke to my boss, and at the time he suggested to me that he hold my position for me for 12 months, which I said, no, I didn't want to do that, for two reasons, really. One, when you do that, it means that the station is down by one person because they can't technically replace you. But secondly, I'm all for going forward, and I've heard a fantastic quote that is used a lot since then, which is, burn the boats, because there is no going back. If I'd left that there as a safety net, I don't know if I would have made what I was doing work. And I think it's really important just to look forward sometimes.
Actually, it's so true, because a lot of people are afraid to make that leap. And, especially if it's going to be into your own business as well.
Yeah.
And they like to keep all their options open, which means you've got 1 foot here and 1 foot there, and then you're never really letting go. It makes me think of this one saying where if you swim too close to the shore, you never get to the other side.
Yes.
And so this is what you did. You started swimming further and further out into a completely new direction. It must have felt quite daunting, though.
It was hugely daunting. And I've always been someone that has liked routine. I like knowing what I'm doing the next day. And I like, at that stage of my life, I actually liked having someone else sort of, I guess, give me direction and give me an idea of what needed to be done. That has changed quite dramatically since then. But I think it took me probably 6 to 8 months to actually transition into working from home. It's really hard, you sort of think, I've got the washing to do, or I'll just go and get something out of the freezer for dinner. And it is quite a difficult transition when you're so used to sort of getting up and at really strange hours when you're in the police at times, and actually going somewhere physically, which is what a lot of people do. Most people go to work, don't they? So and since then, I have actually got an office space now where I do go, and when I'm there, I'm working, and when I'm not, I'm not. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you made but when you left the police force, there were two things going on. So there was the property development.
Yep.
Yes, and then you were into hypnotherapy, I believe, and neuro-linguistic programming.
Yep.
Helping coaches to develop their businesses as well.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I mean, you've got a sales and marketing background, a policing background, then into property, and then into like training the trainer or training the coaches. How did you put all the pieces together so that you were able to develop the right skill sets to make this a success?
I think what ended up, I've always been someone that loves to learn. And when I guess, fell into neuro-linguistic programming in some ways, I saw it and I thought, wow, this looks really interesting. It was about communication. It was about, getting to know the behavior of people. And I've always had a bit of a sixth sense when it comes to that. Like, I love people. I love communicating with people. And I like to, not preempt, but I like to see what happens and how you can sort of, I guess, nudge people in certain directions should you wish to. And so what I did with the training, I actually went right through to trainer's training with NLP. However, I knew I didn't want to just be an NLP trainer because there's quite a lot of people out there doing that. But I knew that I wanted to be able to bring that into the skill set that I was utilising. So to begin with, I was actually working with clients that were mostly women, sort of 35 to 45. It started out as a weight loss program with the hypnotherapy. And then what ended up happening is a lot of the people were sort of going through that transition of their child had got to an age where they were starting to grow up and they wanted to do something themselves or get back into their own business. And I had taken my business from zero to going really well and being booked out quite quickly. And they wanted to know how I'd done it. So that was the transition into marketing and business coaching. So it was actually from coaching people in a weight loss program, identifying needs that they had and actually seeing that it was more to do with their self-worth and value rather than the fact that they wanted to lose weight. And once they established that, the weight fell off. So it was a real win-win.
Massive mindset shift. That's what's so important. And I think, especially for anyone starting their own business, entrepreneurs wanting to build their business, it's very much the mindset that holds them back. It's not, I don't know how to do marketing or I don't like sales. It's that little thing in the back of their mind that's holding them back, usually saying you're not good enough to do it. Or I'm not ready yet. I need to do this one more skill, or I need to have this one more skill before I can do what I want to do, which is just so untrue, because honestly, you need to literally jump off that cliff without your parachute. And honestly, it just turns up. Something happens. You ask the right questions, you find the right people, and you keep moving forward. Yeah. When you really make the leap and there is no safety net, you have to make it work.
Yes.
That's when you become quite resourceful.
Yeah.
And you start to reach out and realize that you can't do it on your own, and you need to start building your tribe of people around you.
Yeah.
And so often it's people think, oh, it's going to be too hard when they've got that safety net. But as soon as you don't, then you become so incredibly creative. I've seen it happen many times also for myself.
Yeah, and I think we all do that. It's a case of, we all have, there's two things you've got. You've either got money that you can invest in your marketing to increase your business, or you've got your time that you can invest. And a lot of people, when they're starting out, don't have a massive marketing budget, so they have to invest their time. And as you've said, you learn to become very resourceful with that. And it's about sort of setting up, I didn't know the term at the time, but it's setting up strategic partnerships and working with people and speaking to people like yourself. It's what gives you the opportunities.
Yeah. And now you are, I know, a mentor at an amazing place called The Entourage as well.
Yes.
And so people are tapping into your expertise left, right, and center. So before we go into your current business, which is Nudge Chatbot Marketing, which is amazing, and I want to find all about that. Tell us a little bit about The Entourage and what you do for them.
Sure. Okay, so the Entourage is one of Australia's leading entrepreneur development centres. It's a big training centre for entrepreneurs and business owners. And what they have is a group of us called Vision Partners, which are the mentors to the members of the Entourage. And so we make ourselves available to speak to members if they have a specific query. So in my case, it's to do with Messenger Marketing and Chatbots and how they can utilise those as a communication channel as part of their overall marketing or business growth strategy, because chatbots kind of fit into pretty much every stage of the business journey. So some people use them for customer service, some people use them for lead gen. And so my role there, I guess, is one, to sometimes train. I go and do trainings for them at times, but then I'm available to speak to the members. So I do one-to-one calls like this from time to time. I do office hours, and they have this really fantastic thing called roundtable on a Saturday once a month where members can come in, and there's normally sort of 8 to 10 vision partners there, and they can just go around and talk to different members, different vision partners. So it's a really good hands-on, roll your sleeves up, get stuck in and get stuff done day.
And so with your business, Nudge Marketing, concurrent with the mentoring you do at Entourage, I'm fascinated to find out about chatbots. Now, I have one on my Facebook business page, but I know very little about chatbots. So explain away to everybody so we know why they're so important.
Okay, I think the easiest way to explain a chatbot is it's almost like having a virtual assistant that is computerized rather than an actual human that's sitting there doing the conversation. And basically what a chatbot does is it's that initial contact with either your Facebook page in your instance, or it can be on your website. So you can have the little customer chat bubble on the website and they can ask questions on there. And the great thing about it is because you set it up in such a way that it can answer questions or queries that the person has, it gives them that immediate gratification because they have that ability to communicate with you irrespective of whether or not it's 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, or 3 a.m. in the morning when they're scrolling through their news feed. So the great thing about a chatbot is it will bring people into the business and speak on behalf of your business. The second thing that it does is it then I call it the traffic cop, because what it does is then actually directs people to where they want to go. So it becomes a very personalized conversation. If you think of a conversation like you and I are having now, you ask some questions, I give you some answers, and then we feed off each other. And that's exactly what you can do with a chatbot when you program it correctly. It's not machine learning and it's not artificial intelligence. It doesn't learn from what you do. It's pre-programmed using natural language processing, which is a bit of a joke for me because I tell everyone now I'm NLP 2X'd. And so it's a communication tool. And I think that's the key. It's a tool where you can communicate and people are interacting with it really, really quickly. And the open rates, click-through rates, and the engagement are just so high at the moment, which is why it's such a powerful tool for businesses to be using.
So in your experience, have you found that for businesses using a chatbot, they actually get more inquiries or more click-throughs to their website?
I've found what's happened is a couple of things. 100% they're getting more inquiries, but the people, I think more so than them getting more inquiries is if you flip it around, the customer experience is so much better because they're getting the answers that they want a lot quicker. And I'll give you an example. We've got a chatbot on a site for a company that offers a local tourism site. They offer a specific touristy thing. And their frequently asked questions are front and center on their website, but people weren't reading them. As soon as we put those same questions, and there was only half a dozen of them in the chatbot, so if they typed in what's the age limit, the chatbot would answer that question for them. So they were getting the answers they wanted, and then they were actually booking in for the service. So the sales cycle shortened considerably. They didn't have to wait to ring someone the next day. They got the answer they wanted there and then. So it's effective from that perspective. So not only is it giving a customer a really good experience, it's also shortening the sales cycle in many instances.
Yes, I can imagine if someone's asking questions of the chatbot and it's the basic questions that maybe you could find in a frequently asked questions sheet. But, do people really read the frequently asked questions sheet?
Not anymore.
Usually it's so long, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the frequently asked questions are asked during the chatbot session. And then if they've answered everything correctly, the chatbot could say, would you like to book an appointment now?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, then it directs them to the booking page or wherever it might be. But if they would say no, then it's, can I give you any more information or whatever?
Yeah.
Then that chain of chats sort of takes off. Is that?
Yeah, that's 100%. And that's exactly what happens. So it's kind of like a tree. You've got the tree trunk, which is the initial conversation when they first come in, and then it branches off based on buttons they've clicked or questions they've asked. Mm-hmm. And as you've rightly said, if they want to book an appointment, you can actually start that booking process in the chatbot and then send them off to your calendar. So all they have to do is pick the time. They don't have to do any more typing. You get all of the information you need in the chatbot, which is a really wonderful experience for the customer. And you'll hear me say that a lot because for me, that's what this is all about. It's about providing the best possible customer experience. And I think at the end of the day, that's where some people get lost. They see it as a marketing tool that's just going to generate all these leads and make more sales for them. And yes, it definitely does that. But the reason it's doing that is because of the experience that it's providing. So it's a case of, and I think not just the experience it's providing, what it's also doing is pre-qualifying those leads for you. So you can ask strategic questions in the chatbot and find out an awful lot about people very quickly. One of the things that we utilize it for a lot is quizzes. And in a business-to-business scenario, that's really a survey that's dressed up as a quiz. And people love taking quizzes. We take them all the time.
Yeah, I have a quiz on my website that I think I should link to a chatbot. So
yeah, well, it's so easy in the chatbot.
People take it. Yeah, so many people take the quiz. Yeah, and then I get an email that they've taken a quiz, and then I can follow up afterwards. Yeah, if it was directed to a chatbot, they could probably get so much further, couldn't they?
Yeah. So basically what we do with the quiz, you can set them up in such a way. And I guess this is something I've really, I've dived really deeply into quizzes and surveys. It's something that I really enjoy doing. And I was recently awarded first place by MiniChat, which is the software that we use to build chatbots, for their, it was a global competition. And I actually won first place for quizzes and surveys, which was fantastic. Oh. And so I actually have a quiz template that I now utilize. And so basically what happens is you ask your questions in the quiz, and then you can break people down into different personas, or you can give them a score, and then you can actually give them some feedback in relation to the answers that they've given. So it's a wonderful tool, and a really easy way to communicate with people. Like I say, it's the next best thing to sitting there having a conversation with someone face to face. It's that pre-conversation before they speak to you.
Yeah, I can see that there would be so many great, conversions that would happen as a result of it, because just talking to you makes me realize where the gaps could be, even in my own website. I've got a scheduling tool, and I've got a quiz. But they're separate. They're both on the same homepage, but they're both there. Yes. But if they talk to each other via the chatbot that would pop up saying, "Hello, I'm Jane's chatbot, and how can I help you?" Yeah. People would start to engage before going to book, and they'd feel even more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, because the chatbot's using your voice and your branding and your persona anyway. We make sure that it's set up very much to align with the business persona, because in all honesty, for many, many companies now, it's the very first point of interaction for some people. Mm-hmm. So, I guess, if you think back to the good old days when David Jones used to have the people on the door that used to open the door for you, and they used to always greet you with a smile and a welcome and say, "Welcome, madam, welcome, miss, have a lovely day today." And that's kind of what a chatbot does.
Oh, I love it. I think I need one, Elly. And so now, I mean, with regard to chatbots, do you work with small business owners? Do you work with large corporates? Do you work with, who are your ideal audience?
Okay, I think we definitely 100% work with small, medium-sized businesses, and typically in the service professionals seem to be someone that we've, got a little bit of a niche with, partly because of what we've done in the past as well, I think. We work with a lot of authors and coaches, and people that have local businesses where there's some sort of service-based business. So they're offering a service to local, it might be a tourist or something like that. We've done a few jobs with sort of mid-sized audiences, but we're not into the corporate game at this stage. That's a whole different level of chatbot, and most of them actually end up building something from the ground up to satisfy their needs.
Yeah, a bespoke platform for them. So really, if you're a small, medium business owner, or if you're starting and building a business, especially if you're a coach, or a service provider in some way, shape or form, but it could also be for businesses who are selling a specialty product, because people would like to know. I mean, I'm thinking, I used to run a a pearls business, importing and selling pearls online. Yes. I would imagine if people landed on that, I sold the business subsequently. I ran it for about 5 years. It was lovely.
Yeah,
playing with my pearls as a side project. But I would imagine if people land on it and saying, what are you looking for?
Yes.
And so it could be necklaces or bracelets or earrings or something. And is there a specific color you're looking for, or a specific 100%. Design, or is it for your mother, or is it for your daughter? Or then that could direct to different products too,
yes.
couldn't it?
Yeah, so I've actually consulted to a company that is a online jewelry store, and everything you've just said there in relation to, is it for yourself or you're looking for a gift? What's your price point? And those are some of the things that we did. So, and as you started to say that, I'm doing a build at the moment for an online store that provides nutritional advice as well as some supplements. So you can actually use it as a lot of e-commerce stores are using it as well, because you can even take payments in Messenger now. So if you've got something that's sort of at that impulse buy price range, or if you wanted to book an appointment in, one of my clients is a plastic surgeon, and he takes his consulting, he does a charge consultancy, and we're actually using the chatbot for them to pay for that now up front, which has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I think there are so many uses that would be so good for entrepreneurs. You know, I'm going to recommend this because I'm teaming up with Ingrid Thompson to do a Build Your Business boot camp, which would be really good. And for all of those budding entrepreneurs, part of the marketing could be to talk about the chatbots as well. So now you've given me a good idea, which
fantastic.
We'll talk about later. But that's brilliant. Now, if people want to find out about you, Elly, because I'm sure they're all going to be so excited about chatbots and what they can do on their website, and also what they can do with it on Facebook. And will there be a chatbot for LinkedIn, do you think?
Yes, I think there eventually will be. They seem to be around 18 months behind Facebook when it comes to that sort of stuff. They've got live video that they're now testing with, I think, a few people. So video has come out and people are now also doing live video. Yes, it will 100%. Anywhere where there is a platform where you can mass communicate with people will have a chatbot. For example, Instagram direct messaging and WhatsApp, they're part of the Facebook businesses. They now have opened up their API, which is how a chatbot basically works in the back end. So they're going to have chatbot availability next year. And it's just, I think more and more businesses will start to utilize these, and more people expect that businesses are going to utilize them as well. So now's a great time to jump in and actually start doing it, because there's only about 5% of businesses that are actually using them effectively.
Just one question before we wind up. On Facebook, there's Facebook on a business page. They've got the message, you can message a business there. That's kind of like a chatbot, isn't it? That's what you would attach.
That is what you would attach your chatbot to. And if you're looking at using, what you're saying is actually partly correct. So what Facebook have done is got a very simplistic way where you can answer 4 or 5 questions. You can sort of pre-program them, and it just gives people the opportunity to push a button. And it could be to speak, book a call, where are you located? So that's Facebook's way of, I guess, giving you something that you can do from the get-go. And that's where the chatbot replaces that. So the chatbot sort of is that on steroids. It just makes that a whole lot better for the customer experience.
And a lot more humanized, I would expect.
Yeah.
Because the personality can come through. Well, how fantastic is that? Wonderful. There's so much to learn about chatbots. You are obviously the chatbot queen. And so if people want to find you, where do they find you?
They can either go to the website and have a look on there, which is nudgemarketing.com. Facebook is my hangout, and I'm just Elly Hurley on Facebook, or we also have the nudgemarketing.au Facebook page. And of course I am on LinkedIn, but I have to say I'm not as diligent with LinkedIn as I am with Facebook.
Well, I think your market is definitely on Facebook, so that's excellent. And I will also have all of your details in my show notes on my website at janejacksoncoach.com. And this is very exciting. So anyone who's running a small business or thinking about it, I think Elly would be a wonderful person to have a chat with. So thank you so much for your time, Elly. And I'm going to create my chatbot, and I might need your assistance. So
that sounds good. I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Get it right. So Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Jane. Have a lovely day.
Okay, bye now. If you enjoyed this podcast, look for Your Career Podcast on iTunes and leave a review. And for all the career management support you need to create your dream career, visit janejacksoncoach.com and join my Careers Academy for live career webinars, group coaching, one-on-one coaching support, as well as my online career development courses. Isn't it time you found your dream job?
You've been listening to Jane Jackson Careers. Sign up to receive regular career advice at janejacksoncoach.com.